He had his fucking ice creams, right? And everything was fine. And then he saw someone say something online, and that's when he realized the countryside is racist. Isn't this the most racist article ever?
The English countryside still feels like a white middle-class club, but we can and will change this.
From Dan Guthrie. Is that the new rainbow flag, mate?
Probably, mate.
That he's wearing.
Yeah.
The sunset rainbow.
Yeah.
My maternal grandparents moved from Jamaica to Stroud as part of the Windrush movement. I'm proud to still live here.
That's good.
That's nice. That's great.
Yeah. A government review in 2019 found that I'm not alone in thinking this.
Oh, my God.
Many black, Asian and ethnically diverse people reportedly viewed the countryside as an exclusive, mainly white, mainly middle-class club.
There is no fucking fee. You just get in your car, you drive over there, you get out and you go, oh, it's a bit green and it smells of sheep shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm going home to civilization. Right? That's the way to enjoy the countryside.
Exactly.
Right? You don't have to pay for it. There's no entry. There's no one fucking standing outside the M25 just like catching ethnic minorities and sending them home.
Yeah.
Back to London.
There's the Klan aren't blocking entrance to a field with burning crosses, are they?
Well, they are in America, mate.
Yeah, probably. But this is the thing, and this is actually where he just shows he's talking bollocks in this article, and I'll point out to you why. Anton, bring it up again, please. They view the countryside as an exclusively mainly white, mainly middle-class club. Actually, poverty in the countryside is very frequently, and in many cases, worse in the countryside than it is in inner
Yeah,
London.
but these people have never been to the countryside. They live in London. They've never left. And when some idiot calls them up and goes, do you feel scared of the countryside? Oh, yes, it's racist. They've never been outside. They live in Croydon.
I mean,
they were born in Croydon. They're going to die in Croydon.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of wildlife in Croydon, mate, so they don't need to go to the country.
Yeah, but it's fucking armed. Anyway, let's keep reading.
I don't understand.
Do we all need to gather and chip in for a pair of walking boots for all the big black and brown people? Is that what's going on here? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be fine. They're human beings just like you who can go into a shop, buy the gear, and go to the countryside. Isn't this the most racist article ever?
Do you know, it's actually a lot, and it is obviously a load of bollocks, right? Because Poon Poon loves doing country walks. She's been to Scotland, she's been all over, and she said people couldn't have been nicer to her, more welcoming, more opening. We went everywhere. I mean, apart from, like, you know, we went to the West Country, and they just were weird, but that's because they're inbred.
They're weird to everyone.
Yeah, but they're inbred, mate. It's not their fault.
I got the joke the first time, and I skipped over it because I thought it was on the knuckle, and I thought I'd soften it by saying then they're not nice to anyone.
They're inbred. They don't react. Remember, it's like doing live stand-up. Shout the punchline. It's the only way they're going to understand. Vindicated.
Let's read a little bit more because you've got to get the retarded article in. In an attempt to challenge this perception of the countryside as an exclusively white area, the Independent Cinema Office and the Lux Arts Agency have commissioned the program called Right of Way to show alongside archival shorts exploring the history of the national trails. My film, Black Strangers...
Shouldn't it be capitalized?
Yeah, it should be. But maybe she's racist. Follows my attempts to search for an 18th century namesake of mine, the monogamous Daniel, who was buried in nearby Nymphsfield on the 31st of December 1719, and was described on records held in Gloucestershire archives as being simply a black stranger. This is going to attract black people to the countryside. And to hide this for a second, I have a different idea for you pricks at the arts agency. Show people the countryside. It looks nice.
I'm going to be honest with you, right?
Show them a video of fucking people walking and having a good time.
No one's having a good time when they're walking in the countryside, mate. You're just trading sheep shit.
No, you're just a London boy. You don't like going outside the M25.
Yeah.
Right? But actually, walking a sheep shit is a British pastime and a tradition. It should be respected. My point is, right? Show them the fucking pictures of the countryside. It looks nice.
Exactly. And by the way, most bulls are black. So have a think.
What were you going to say?
Can't remember.
You were going to say if we're going to be honest or something like that.
Well, if we're going to be... I can't remember. Can't remember.
All
if
right.
we're going to be honest, like all you see in the countryside are animals. And I've never known an animal to be racist. I've been apart from my mum's old dog.
You get
That was
racist
great.
dogs.
Yeah,
A mate of mine had a racist dog.
yeah, they do.
A black man kicked it once, and it would just bark at black people from that point on.
There you go.
I mean, it was a white dog.
Yeah.
So he hadn't, all the programming.
Yeah, white supremacy.
He had all that.
Yeah. I made the film. So basically, this is just a glorified advert for your shit film. I made the film in the aftermath of my involvement with a council-led consultation in Stroud. Do you know what? That sounds like Star Wars, mate. That just sounds like peak drama. A council-led consultation in Stroud that, among other things, asked for people's opinions of an object in the town called the Black Boy Clock.
Oh my God.
Stroud's consultation drew media attention from outlets across the political spectrum and ignited a cultural debate.
This naturally dredged up the same tired arguments again and again with comments such as, go back to where you came from. Yeah, I already said that. Go back to London and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And stop stirring up trouble around here, reinforcing this outdated concept that people of color don't belong in rural areas. No. That's not what he was reinforcing. He was reinforcing the concept that people need to stop fucking whining and enjoy the countryside without thinking about race every 3 seconds.
But the official survey found that 79% of people thought the clock should be removed, with the words uncomfortable, ashamed, and angry occurring most frequently when asked to describe it. I got involved with the consultation because the town means a lot to me.
Francis, I'm sorry. Anton, hide this for a second. Are you seriously telling me that 79% of people in Britain are ashamed and angry at the fact that a clock, the Black Boy Clock, exists somewhere in the country?
Did you see that they changed?
79% are ashamed and angry.
Did you Did you see that road in Haringey, which is a famous road called Black Boy Lane?
Yeah, there's a Black Boy Hill in Bristol where I grew up.
No, but they changed it.
I know, to what?
I can't remember what it's called. But
Person of Colour Lane.
No, they changed it something like, I don't know, whatever it is. But everyone who voted for it practically, they were all white.
Of course.
But people were like, oh, I couldn't give a fuck, mate. I'm trying to pay my bills.
79% of people are ashamed and I am sorry, I am calling bullshit. How many times have you been ashamed or angry at any monument that you've seen in this country?
Mate, I get upset by clocks all the time.
No one cares.
I'll see a clock. Oh, that's a fucking disgrace.
You could put up a statue of Hitler in London. No one would notice it because everyone's trying to get to work.
It's true. I mean, a couple of people.
A couple of people might notice.
Yeah.
My point is, no one cares. No one looks at fucking monuments.
No. No one looks
No
at
one is ashamed or angry about a fucking clock.
Good point. Let's keep reading.
Fuck me.
I got involved with the consultation because the town means a lot to me and I haven't had sex in 2 years. One of my earliest memories, well, this makes fucking sense, doesn't it? He's just young and he's a fucking idiot. One of my earliest memories is going on a primary school field trip up to the local common for ice creams on what was probably the hottest day of the year, traipsing along footpaths and over bridges along the way. At no point then did I feel out of place.
All right. So everything was great. As I got older, I began to question my surroundings in the way that children do. But it was only when the consultation hit the headlines and the reactionaries started to rear their heads online that I properly doubted whether I belonged in the landscape I found myself living in. Right. Hide this, Anton. So here's what happened. He grew up in the countryside and everything was great.
Yeah.
And then they did a consultation and some people online reacted to it. And that's when he knew the countryside was racist.
Yeah.
So he lived there. His lived experience was that everything is fine. For years, he lived there and had his ice creams with the fucking sun and whatever. And I will not repeat what needs no repeating about British ice cream. We've had that conversation.
Yeah, we do anyway.
And you all got very angry and we're not going to go there again because you know I'm right.
Yeah.
But my point is, he had his fucking ice creams, right? And everything was fine. And then he saw someone say something online and that's when he realized the countryside is racist.
You know what? This is the thing that pisses me off, is when people go, look how racist everything is. I went online and this happened. This is how racist this country is. How do you know that the person writing the shitty comment to you is from this country or from the countryside? He's probably from Serbia.
He uses Serbia as a placeholder country. It didn't mean specifically that Serbia.
Any Eastern
Anyways,
European country.
right.
I mean, that's fair.
Can't argue with that.
You can't. The logic's
Fair.
impeccable.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Oh,
let's keep
some
reading.
more. Jesus Christ.
That I properly doubt, blah, blah, blah. Luckily, finding Daniel in the archive squashed these concerns. He reminded me that people of colour have always existed in rural spaces and always will.
So everything's fine then?
Yeah, because you found a dead black person. This is mental.
Mate, how does... This is a national newspaper in this country. How are they running the... How?
This basically, he got into an argument about a clock. It went online, and someone wrote, a couple of people wrote a racist comment, and as a result
They
of
didn't even
that,
write a racist comment. They just told them to... Well, I don't... Maybe some of it was racist,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So he got a few racist comments, and as a result of that, you can't walk in a field.
In a field in which he's walked his entire life and ate ice cream.
And he's always felt accepted. What do you do with these people?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, the thing is, there are some racist people in society, right? And there are inequalities between different ethnic groups.
Yeah.
And there's probably things you can do to
Yeah.
help them.
Yeah.
But I don't think this article is doing that.
No.
Is it? I don't think this guy is helping. Do you think he's helping? Do you think this is making society better?
Do you know what I think this is, mate? I think this is a crap advert for his shit film about a black person who died a few hundred years ago. That's what I think this is.
He happened to be in the countryside.
That's it.
And in a country that was almost entirely white, was described as a black stranger. Well, you think if you turned up to Africa in the 1700s and died in one of their villages, they'd be like, oh, his name was Francis James Foster. And this was his date of birth and